This is Hannibal and the Hannibal TV mascot Piper here, who was just having a nice dinner with me, and she's going to help me do a review of the Sunny RF video clips that I put on this channel with the permission of RF Video over the past month or so. It's kind of sad that she seems so upbeat in these clips and so as if she's conquered her demons. And obviously, in the end, she didn't conquer her demons, and she's going to be in jail for a long time. Probably, I mean, uh, numerous years due to actually killing somebody that had a family and everything through driving under the influence. So it's sad to see her with such a optimistic outlook on life in those RF video interviews, and then see that just a few years after that, she ended up killing someone. Um, so it's unfortunate. She comes off very arrogant in these, very unremorseful for her treatment of Chris Candido. One interesting thing, and I did put this in a clip, was that she said her and Chris Candido never talked about her adultery that apparently took place through the entire relationship. The one thing she talked about in these videos is, and this was after Chris was already dead, the thing where she was with Dolph Ziggler, which I guess he was more popular in those days, but she talks about it as if he, like, that was like some huge coup. She actually talks about like doing it with guys as if as most guys talk about doing it with women. So she obviously has like very guyish personality, and she even says in these interviews she gets along better with men. She did. There was two interviews that I posted. One was the On the Road with Sunny, and then there was the Reflections with Sunny. She looked like she'd gained maybe 15 pounds in between the two interviews, and we've seen in between these interviews and the time she went to jail, she gained even more weight. It's unfortunate, the downfall of her, because at one point she was like the next Miss Elizabeth, which they even mention in this, because at one point in WCW she shared a dressing room with Miss Elizabeth, and she could have been the next Miss Elizabeth. With all the money being thrown around right now with WWE and AEW, she could have been one of the top divas of all time. She still is, but she definitely didn't have the longevity. And I've told this story before. We did use her in Great North Wrestling in 2008. She was already on her body downhill slide by that time. And a couple things stand out to me by that. She wanted me to book former TNA wrestler Johnny Devine on the events, because at the time that was one of her boy toys. But I mean, at that point, I already had Brutus and her on those shows, so it would be overkill to book him as well. He was still in TNA at that time, but like it would have been overkill. So she was quite disappointed that I wouldn't book him. I remember driving with her from Ottawa or Montreal to Toronto, which is quite a drive, and her just eating almost the entire time. And back in those days, before you get internet on your cell phones, I remember her when she got to her hotel one of the nights, getting me to kick someone off the hotel internet so she could get on there. But she's overall not a very good person. It's funny. She also contradicts herself in both of these interviews. In one, she says she's the most honest person in the world, and in the other, she says she has issues with telling the truth. So I wouldn't trust anything she says. As far as if anything happened with her and Bret Hart, you know what? I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of people she was with, and she did say she would share a dressing room with Bret Hart. and it seemed like the sunny days comment really bothered Brett. So I don't know. What does Piper think? Jason has a comment here. She always thought Sunny was Missy Hyatt of the 90s. Yeah, but Sunny had a far bigger downfall than Missy Hyatt. Missy Hyatt at least has herself together overall now, and she didn't have the demons of the Sunny. But I don't think Missy Hyatt was as popular as Sunny was at her peak. Grandma Daisy, Piper's happy to read your comment. I'm gonna get Piper back home right now. It's pouring rain here in Ottawa. Let me know what you guys thought of these clips of Sunny. Not a very nice person. I didn't like her. As someone that actually used to find her attractive around 95, 96 when she debuted, by the time I met her in 2008, not only from her personality, but from how her looks had dropped by 2008, like she was a disgusting person to me in more than one way. But I wish her the best in her rehabilitation, and I'm very sorry to the family of the gentleman that she killed. It's a tragedy.